And what is up? Welcome back. It is Friday night, and you're here with the Average Boys podcast. It's your boy Crispy, and I am here, of course, with my excellent co-host Brian D. What is up, my dude? How you
Excellent,
doing, Brian?
excellent. I like it.
Excellent,
I like it a
excellent, my
lot.
dude. I
Hell
know,
yeah.
man. We're coming in. We're coming in. It's gonna be a good year this year. I feel it. I feel like 2023's got our date. How's been your week? How's been life?
It's been going well. So wait, you're not gonna hit me with one of those New Year's, new me things, are you? You're not one of those people?
New
Please
Year's
tell
New Me.
me. Tell me you're
I don't
not. Tell
know,
me you're
man. I'm
not.
kind of like, shit. I'm about to hit 40, 42 years old, and
Okay.
every
No,
year
no,
is
no,
New
no,
Year's
no,
New Me.
nope. It's 42 years young. All
Young,
right.
yeah.
So it's
Is
all
it? Am I?
about your
I
perspective.
wonder. I've always wondered when that time comes when you get to switch it to like young, when you get to say young instead of old, like when it's proper. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, man. I don't think I'm gonna do like the whole New Year's New Me. I'm just gonna do what I'm doing because I feel like I'm always good.
Okay.
I feel like I'm just
I
always
like
good.
that. I like
Yeah,
that.
I'm,
You
I'm
said that
always
with
hard,
your
man. What about you, man? What about
said
you?
that with your chest.
You're gonna be like what 41 this year?
No, I'm 40. Let's slow down. All right.
Oh
Let's
yeah.
just slow
I was
down.
like, oh shit. So how do you feel? How do you feel?
Slow down. I feel good. Honestly, I feel great. And it's days like today that are actually really, really awesome. I got to see my mom. So like whenever I get to like see family, it kind of rejuvenates me. So I always feel, you know what, as long as I have my family around and my friends around, I'm good to go. So I always feel young. What's up?
Yeah, yeah.
What's up, everybody in the comments? What's
Yeah, I
up,
want to
everybody?
say what's up, Rob, Triggs. How you doing, Gabe? How you guys doing, man? Welcome to the last show of the year. It's gonna be fucking New Year's. What are we talking about? Sunday. We got the whole
Yeah.
ball drop in New York City. Do you ever go to that or no?
I went to it once, and just so everybody knows, over here on the East Coast, that's not like a thing. Like people don't go to the ball. Like
Really?
it's not as eventful as you think.
Is it
Like
like real cliche or what?
it's very cliche, number one, but just number two, like it's just a whole mess. Like if you want to be anywhere near like the ball, you got to be there early in the morning, just to stand out there. And usually the frigid fucking cold. Um,
Yeesh.
and is a little known fact that only the real like hardcore uh New York City New Year's Eve people that go out there, they're the only ones that know that some people wear diapers out there.
Oh shit.
They're,
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you're fucking out there for like what 20. I'm not gonna say 24 hours, but you're there for like 26 hours.
you're out there for a very long time, and there's little to none porta potties. So
Damn, dude, that's nuts,
a
man.
lot of people, a lot of people just piss on themselves and shit on themselves.
Oh no, bringing in the New Year's really hard. Bringing in
Yeah.
the New Year's
So
super hard.
I mean, if that sounds like fun, by all means, guys, like that's the place for you, man. Nah.
I guess it's like one of those things like it would be like a once in a lifetime. Like you look at it because it's like that romanticized idea of like you're gonna kiss under the ball that drops and everyone's happy for that moment. And then
Now that's
everybody just
great.
starts
That's
swinging on
great.
each other.
No, that's awesome. But you also have to remember it's like 10 degrees outside.
Yeah, it's
Like
cold as fuck.
it sounds romantic and it sounds great, but that kiss is not worth it. You trust me, you guys will definitely have a better time kissing your significant other in a nice warm environment. Trust me.
Yeah, no shit in a cabin in the middle of Colorado, dude, in the woods.
That's a way better time. I've done it one time, and that's actually by mistake because I had a friend that had a condo in downtown, and I was going to his apartment, and in doing so you have to go past that, and every other street is shut down, so it's like basically like a herd of sheep where they're directing you into one way in and one way out. That's a fucking disaster.
Dude, I
So
was gonna
no,
say
I'm
that
good.
sounds like did you hear about that situation that happened recently in like Korea where there was like a stampede in like some festive alleyway because the city had just recently opened up? Did you hear about this? Happened like months
No, I
ago.
did not. No,
Yeah, there was
no,
like people.
no.
They had like if you ever look it up, guys, it's super crazy. And I want to say it was like in an Asian, like a proper Asian city, which is like either like Japan or Korea, like a very popularized area. I wouldn't say Thailand because Thailand's always open, but um, yeah, there was this small street that's really really well known for being like a really big festive area. It was during a holiday. Everyone rushed in, and then everyone started just cramming the alley, and everyone in the front of the alley started getting squashed and killed. Then you started hearing people screaming like, everybody move back. There's people dying. You can see it on the fucking live video, dude. It's nuts.
Just leave it to Chris for some dying shit.
Oh, yeah, dude.
First off the top. I like it.
Right off
we're
going to end the years. I mean, dude,
like
not only to mention, I mean, 2022 has been a crazy year with, of course, people passing away. And right before we started the podcast, did you see that that news reporter chick passed away?
No.
Barbara something. What's her name? I'll tell you right now. I just saw it on
Barbara Walters.
Barbara Walters passed away. Like literally, like I wouldn't say 10 minutes before the show, but it's already coming out that she's already passed away. That lady's been in it for a minute, man. She's like a staple in the community. So shout outs to her and her legacy and good stuff. You know, hopefully we have that opportunity to live a really cool life like that. But 2022, man, crazy fucking year. How was your week?
Good, man. It was good. Work has just been steady. Actually, it was a little bit slow. That I'm lying to you guys. It's been kind of slow this week, so I can always appreciate that. And again, I got some family in town, so I'm out visiting them. I went to Maryland today. Literally just walked in the house right now, and I'll be back out there tomorrow. So yeah, man, it's gonna look like a good way to ring in the New Year's. Yeah,
ring in the New Year's and stuff. I've had a pretty cool week, very chill. Of course, just tending to family and friends, enjoying the New Year's. Went back to the gym. Actually had one of my students come in from Austin. I hadn't seen him in like 7 years. He came in this past week. I got to work with him yesterday at 3 p.m. He's like a head instructor at an Austin Muay Thai gym. You know, really, really cool to catch up to him. Had another one of my younger students there that got to train with him. And it's just good because my generation students, like the guys that trained me when they were younger, and they go and they live their lives and they come back. It's really cool to see that they're still in the game in some way. You know what I mean? Like they're still at least like they're still doing something, and that knowledge is still keep on going with the dudes. But like
you feel like a proud dad or something like that, like a proud older brother. I like that.
Yeah. And then what's even cooler is like when they come in and they're like, all right, cool, like let me work with one of your guys, and they start working with them, and they're like, yo, dude, these guys are fucking like legit, man. Like they're still going. And they start to realize that the system that they started out in the foundation that they're a part of, didn't stay stagnant. Still continued to grow, and it still continued to move with them. So when they come back, they know that there's still room to learn, even from when the place they first started. Okay. Because most of the time, like when you become a martial artist and you get up to like your black belt reign, and then you're there for several years, this was a big problem back in the day with like traditional martial arts, where like, it never expanded. It always kind of stayed stagnant, and then you kind of just did the same stuff that all the old guys did. And then like sometimes you would find, a move or two that you would see online, bring it to your gym, and then the old guys would be like, nah, we don't do that kind of stuff. So like for that opportunity for the students to come back to see what we're doing and then be like, oh shit, like that was a cool thing he did. How did he do that? And then we have a whole ass study discussion about it. Like I love that kind of stuff when it comes to training. I love that shit. Got a couple of my guys getting ready for 2023, Austin and Edgar, Adolf hopefully too, which is another one of my students. And I got one of my dudes in Mexico, Freddie, got another one coming down from Dallas, fucking the gym's looking proper again. And I'm not going to lie. Of course, like during the ending of the year, when it turns into the Christmas time, it gets super slow when you got your Rocky Balboa style gyms that don't have like cool AC and anything cool. Like you're punching meat hanging from walls kind of shit. But it's cool to see when they all start coming back. Yeah, it's gangster, man. We do gangster shit down here. We just train out in the sun all day. But it was cool, man. It was cool. It was a good week. It was a good week. Educating myself more on some drone stuff. I got a drone coming in that I ordered for Christmas, and yeah, man. It's been stout, looking pretty interesting for 2023, man. I'm trying to be on a positive notion. It's kind of harder when you get older to kind of have that drive to want to keep doing cool shit and not just stay stagnant to the lifestyle you're used to. So to keep educating yourself is something good. What's something that you, of course, I mean, shit, it's something that we make fun of all the time because fuck, we're already at that age where like we've heard every fucking new year, new me situation. But like, what is something goal wise? Because you're like me, man. You're like a goal oriented guy. Like you'll put that shit in front of you and you'll be like, oh, I got to hit that goal. Like, I don't give a shit. I have to hit it. Yeah. What's something that you're going to push for 2023? And that goes to you guys out in the comment section too. What's something that you're going to push for to do?
Oh,
to
we're
get
doing
done?
resolutions. Okay,
No,
all
I mean
right.
not resolutions. I don't want to be like, oh, I want to lose 10 pounds and look good in my 2-piece. No, I don't mean that shit. Like I mean like
Okay.
maybe you want to buy a Tesla, or
Well,
maybe
I
you want to
mean,
go to
honestly,
Galveston.
I mean, I get that, but like, you're asking me for a goal in 2023. To me, that's a short-term goal.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
if you're asking me what I want in the near future, that's a short-term goal. So I'm gonna have to give you a short-term answer. I can't say I'm going to buy a Tesla because
What's a
in
land?
actuality, I won't be able to buy a Tesla for like the next like at least 2 or 3 years.
I'll shoot it down.
So
I'll shoot it down like this. What's a landmark objective you're going to try to get to in 2023 this year?
so
That's a little bit different.
Yeah, so I guess I would say just higher education. I want to learn more. I'm a very curious minded person just naturally, so I'm just interested in learning about all different types of shit. I want to go back to school. I want to learn more in the dentistry industry. I want to learn more just in the podcast and YouTube
Mhm.
field. I'm getting literature on that stuff. Trying to start. You know what, dude? I'm tired of doing this shit for free. I'm sorry. So I want to start learning how to monetize this shit. And actually adding this as a
Something for your
like
resume.
a not even just my resume. It's already on my resume, but I actually want to get paid for this shit and add it as a stream of revenue. I think that would be beneficial to my current situation. But other than that, man, it's just higher education, just learning more, growing more. To me, I don't care what happens throughout the year. If you learn something, to me, I think that's a positive, year. So that's always my goal. No matter what. Now, if you want to ask me what my long-term goals are, we can have that conversation. But just in the near future, the upcoming year, I just want to be a better person and grow in whatever the fuck it is I'm doing.
Our, our,
I'm gonna be here just wasting time anyway, so I might as well do it with learning some shit, man.
our boy Jeremy says, get into the art show, man. I have 5 pieces going, and I want to get in 5 more. I want to change my job, travel to Chi-Town, Chicago, this summer. That sounds like
Yeah.
a pretty good. That's a pretty good goal set, man. That was pretty solid. The art show is kind of like the situation that you're in, where you say you want to get paid for the art that you do, right? Which is like, of course, the media and the podcast and the content streaming. That's its own variation of art. And I'm in the same boat, and Jeremy's in the same process too. Like we're both like we both went to school together for art. I do a lot of graphics design stuff. I know Jeremy does some stuff too. So I've been trying to. I think I've told you this before, that the Valley, the way where we live at, the demographic, it's very hard to get people to stop thinking traditionally that like graphics design and media jobs like this aren't an actual sense of a career. Like, unless the way they see it down here is if you're working for a television station, which is like a local news station, or one of the 3 to 5 newspapers that they would sell, like you don't do anything with media. So like anytime you have like an independence, like the one that's been going on for a while that doesn't get a lot of respect is photography.
But wait, hold on. Let me ask you a question.
Go for it.
Before you continue, what does your geography or your geographic location have to do with
It's
what
the
you're trying to
culture. It's not the
monetize?
geographic location. It's the culture that the people. The people down here are very ranch driven.
Okay.
So what they do is they consider working with your hands more of a career than working with your like education wise. Like if you work education wise, like you're a different classification of person.
Okay.
But here it's like if you're not educated, like you're probably working construction in some way, and you have your own construction business, and that's the majority of people who have that live like a high middle class job.
Okay,
Where
but if you
everyone else
have a
above that is like,
yeah,
go
but
for
if
it.
you have a construction business, just hear me out. If you have a construction business,
Yeah.
you need somebody to shoot some cool pictures of your shit or take pictures for a business
Phones do that.
card or
They
some
can do
shit.
that themselves. That's what they believe. Right now, there's a huge bust in a lot of these people that I know down here that are like, we were just talking about it amongst our friends, where like no one wants to put cash in the advertisement. Everybody kind of wants that shit to work for free. So they'll bring in people that, do, that's why we talked about it, because we're mostly cosplayers. And they like to, businesses right now in our area like to call up cosplayers to be mascots for the day. Like the dudes in front of with the signs and shit. They
Yeah.
like to bring cosplayers to do that because they think cosplayers are going to do that shit for free. And for cosplayers, they kind of like verbally tell them, "Oh, it's cool. You're going to be a guest. You're going to be a guest at my restaurant that day." And you automatically assume like, "Oh shit, I'm a cosplayer. I'm a guest. I'm making it somewhere." But in the process, the business is just using you. So like there's a really interesting divide right now that people are starting to be like, well, if they invite me as a guest, why don't I charge them? And it's like, well, I'm not going to pay them. Like the businesses are like, well, I'm not going to pay you. I mean, I'll give you.
So then stop dealing with just them down. Like there's like a whole like I don't know. I feel what you're saying, and I understand the frustration that may cause. But like I'm from the mindset of like we have the internet at our fingertips. Like if I can't get paid locally, then fuck it. I'll go reach out to other people in some other places that may need my services. Like fuck it. If the people where you're living, or just let's take it off of you and just put it on me. If I can get paid over here, but I do believe in my service, and I've seen your work. You do some really dope shit.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
There's definitely a market out there for it. I just don't want to. I don't want you to feel as though like you have to depend on people, because obviously, fuck them. If they don't need your services, fuck it. Somebody else.
You know what's crazy is 2022. I've been dedicating my personality and my mindset to thinking more like that. To where like if someone hits me up and they're like, "Oh, hey, can you do this for me?" Like that would be awesome. I'll be like, "Okay, cool. Like, well, here's a price. If I know you, I'm gonna help you out. But if I don't know you and you know me, then I'm just gonna charge you normal. Like it's just what it is. Because I mean, I'm not looking to just give everybody handouts or whatever. But in the process of it too, down here, like I was saying, the graphics designer career doesn't get as much respect as someone who lays concrete. So
because you don't live in a place where graphics design is considered
a career, like a move,
not even a career, but something that's a necessary a necessary thing. But if you promo, listen, when you're talking, the only thing that I'm thinking of every time we have this conversation is Fiverr, dude. Like when I need a graphics, I have friends that have all types of fucking jobs. But I don't have any graphics design friends besides you, and that's it. So instead of bugging you, I'll go on Fiverr, because there's like a million people just like you. There's like a million people just like you that think that there's no market, or the market is oversaturated, and they're looking for people like me that'll get their services. Dude, just put your shit on fucking Fiverr, man, and you'll reach that'll be all over the world, bro. Like people all over the world have a direct line to you. Like that would be amazing, yo.
But that's the thing, like the situation is I do have people hitting me up. Like I do get a good amount of people that are like, "Yo, I saw your ad on Facebook. You have some really good skills. It'd be cool if you made something for me." And then I give them my price, and then they're like, "Nah, well, I have a teenage nephew that knows how to do some stuff. I'm just gonna hit him up."
Yeah.
And beforehand, I would be like, "Hey, well, you know what? Like, I'll do it even cheaper. Like, don't worry about bothering your nephew." Like, because in my mind, I was like, maybe I have to give more to get people to understand that there's a necessity for it.
Nah, fuck that.
Yeah.
Don't bend.
So now it's like I'll be like, "Cool, man, go."
That's a no-go. That's a no-go. We don't do that. We don't bend.
Like the way that, and you know what? It's been working really good. I'll be like,
price is the price, dog. Nah, fuck that.
I'll straight tell them. I'll be like, "No, it's cool. Like,
the price is the price, man."
Whatever. And then what I'll do, you know what I'll do just to fuck with them? I'll make a logo just like they like, and I'll put it on my Facebook and be like, "Look what I could do for y'all."
Yeah.
Like I'll do it almost exactly the way I told them I would have done their logo, and then they look like dumbasses, man. And it's just what it is. It's just what it is. I mean, it's one of those things. Like if you do not show people why there's a desire or a demand for the work that you do, then no one's ever gonna care.
Yeah.
No one's ever gonna care. You have to create emotion in that situation.
I
get people all the time that hit me up and they're like, "Man, what should I do?" And I'm like, "You should do this, because right now the way you're doing it, you're fucking up." That's just what I do. It's just what I do. So it's been going good. So yeah, 2023. I want to get into professional FPV driving.
Wait, I'm not gonna see you on like ESPN on one of those like.
Oh, not the races and shit. That's by my time right now, like it's like you get that situation. I don't know if that ever happens to you. You're still a little younger than me, but like where you gotta kind of like read shit and put it across your face because you can't like focus as hard on shit that's too close.
Yeah,
That ever
bro.
happened
I'm
to you?
not. No,
Oh,
I'm not
you're
at
gonna
that
get there. I
point.
fucking
You
guarantee.
gotta stop trying to age me out, bro.
I'm
Like, if you
aging
want
out
to
all
be
the time.
old, that's fine. But you
It's
can
like
be old on your
when you're trying to
time,
read
bro.
some like, but I'm talking like the little shit. Like I'm not talking
Nah,
like
nah,
like
nah.
you're not
Get
trying to
some
read like the
bifocals,
fucking
grandpa.
Pure
No,
Life
get out of
sign
here.
on this fucking. You're not trying to read. No, you're not doing that on fucking giant text. I'm talking like little text. Sometimes you got to be like, oh shit, that's still too close. But
Sorry.
sometimes you know what, and I don't know what it is, man. Sometimes I get like brain fog. You know what brain fog is? I don't know if it's just allergies or what, but I'm just like,
you're just fucking old, bro.
I'm just getting
Apparently,
fucking old, man.
you can't
I gotta take my
see. You
fucking
have brain fog. Like, what's up, bro? You need Depends or something next. I don't know
yeah. Sooner or
what comes
later,
after that, yo.
yeah, I'm gonna have to ask all those people at New Year's just to see which diapers they're buying. That's what's gonna
Oh
be,
God.
man. No, it's just one of those things. Like I kind of feel like, yeah, I know that if I was to get into drone racing, I don't think it'd be good because of the reaction timing. It's like nowadays you look at that shit, sometimes that shit's way too fucking fast. And not only that, like I'm way underexperienced to even fly a drone that fast. I'd be fucking that shit up, and it's so much cash behind that stuff.
Yeah.
But what I want to get
So
into
wait,
is I
so
wanna
you're
get
scared
into,
that you're gonna crash it? You're scared that you're gonna destroy it or something?
yeah, dude, those things are fucking expensive. Like they are. It's stupid. It's a really dumb, expensive thing to get into.
So what?
But the thing is
Do
okay
it.
because like you have to buy the drone, you got to buy the goggles and the remote. That's what all comes with the FPV system, and
Okay.
each one of them are independently sold. Sometimes you can find a package which Beta FPV has a really badass package. That's what I went with, and it's like
Tell him, Gabe. Tell him, Gabe. Never compromise your
yeah, he's
integrity.
talking
That's
about
what I'm talking
he's talking
about.
about the graphics design stuff.
Never bend.
That's
Never
right.
bend.
But what I want to get into is I want to get into cinematography with the FPV drone. Cause a lot, I don't know if you ever watched like those videos of like the drones flying into businesses and doing like badass flips around cars, like the X Games videos of them like circling around fucking drifting cars and shit. Like, I don't know if you ever watched this stuff. Like it's fucking impressive. It's super impressive to me. And I've always been a big fan of just cinematography in general. And I like to do videos. I like to research on the next best idea on how to create more content. And I feel like that's a really great area to get into. There's a small group of guys down here, about 5 or 6 dudes that kind of get into it. And I've had the opportunity to meet them online and can't wait to get my shit so I can fly with them a little bit and learn some stuff. So that's going to be what I'm pushing for in 2023. And I want to become like a book writer, dude. Everybody's out there fucking dropping ebooks and shit. I want to know what I could do. I want to know what I could do. I really want to get an ebook out there. What do you think? If you were going to write a book, Brian, what kind of book would you write?
If I could write a book,
like you could write a fucking ebook, dude. Now I don't know what the problem is. It's got to be like, what is it, like 27 pages? You got to write fucking proper. You can't fucking have bad grammar or whatever. But
I would just hire a fucking
somebody.
Yeah, somebody's writing that for me. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, you think I'm actually gonna sit there and write a fucking book? That's not gonna happen. I'm gonna pay someone to write it for me, just like everybody else pays someone to write their books. And that's I'm gonna call it a day. I'll come up with the idea. I'll come up with the idea. I'll come up with the IP or whatever it is, and then I'll just have somebody write it. I'll record myself the book.
Okay.
And someone's gonna write that up nice and
like
proper
a dictation or whatever.
Yeah. What would my book be about? It would be, I don't know. I think a kid's book would be awesome. I think a kid's book. I don't know. And what would it be about? It would probably be about just life in general and what to expect and what not to expect, and make it fun for kids and shit like that. That's what I would do. Bet.
I think I'd do the same thing, man. I think I'd be in the realm of doing like a kid's book. And I don't think it's in the sense of like, because I think it would be easier or something. I'm a big comic book junkie, and I think making a kid's book is always proper when it comes to starting a comic book. Like that would be your audience first and foremost to write a long-term comic book. So I always had this idea that I wanted to do a kid's book about this vampire. And
what's this vampire doing?
Like it's like a kid vampire, but it's not in the same idea of what we look at vampires, like how we're taught vampires are. It's like not like Twilight either or some shit, but it's like it's just a mutation that happens, and people just they have that what is it? I guess that those details or that type of traits like vampires, but they're pretty much normal people. They just have that going on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna be about acceptance, man. It's gonna be like the kid goes to elementary, and all the kids like kind of treat him like an outcast. And there's a group of kids that kind of like try to befriend him. And in those situations, like at first, they kind of like they treat him bad because he's like all gothed out or something, or emo looking, or just different, right?
So this is a book about goth kids. Being
Well, no, I mean
accepted.
it's the easiest. That would be the easiest thing because that's like how we intricate like
Oh,
emo
shit.
kids into it or vampires. We always assume
Yeah,
they're goth.
I got you. I got you.
Or we typecast them. We typecast them like that. But like the kids that are picking on him, like there's like these two very special kids also in the situation that like at first they kind of like they're with the kids that are picking on him, but then they know the kids go a little too far and they kind of like befriend him a bit.
Yeah.
Because later on, then they suffer from bullying and they're like, well, that shit doesn't feel good. And then they accept him. And then, of course, it turns into like just a kid's book, like of just acceptance and how you're not supposed to treat people bad because they're different or whatever. And it was going to be called, listen to this title and tell me it's not a fucking banger, bro. It's going to be called A Nibble Amongst Friends.
I like it.
Tell me that's not a banger for a vampire story.
No, that's good. That's good.
It's funny. It's funny, right? It's good. I dig it. I dig it. It's funny. And then what I was going to do, and then check this out, bro. Check this out. This is my dream in this situation.
Okay.
Something is supposed to happen in the kids' book that like the sky like lights up like a different color and all of them witness it. Because later on I wanted to write like a comic book series that deal with like actual heroes and actual like adult problems and stuff. But I wanted it to be where the kids' book is a crossover into that story, like they're all in the same universe.
Okay. All right.
And that in that flash of light that they see, like of course in the kids' book, you write it out as like, oh, in a cool flash of light and the scars and the skies turn blue. And kids read it and you're like, oh, whatever, dude. Like it's just a kid's book, like super corny shit happen like that all the time. But then later on, when you're like a teenager and the comic book comes out and there's like a big ass fight, and then you notice that there's a giant flash of light in the sky, you're gonna be like, oh, wait a fucking minute. Like this guy's the one that wrote that kid's book when I was like 10.
Yeah.
Is the vampire kid in this universe? And then like later on, I wanted there to be like the big Thanos movement. And the first panels of the story are all like that day of the flashing light and everybody looking up. So you'll see like the comic book people that you've been reading about, and then like the three kids, but drawn in the comic book way. And I wanted it to be all connected. I thought that would be so fucking cool. So fucking cool. So
I'd read it.
Yeah. It just sounds like it's a wicked idea. It's something I've had in my mind for a long time. Yeah, it'd be really down. I would love to sit down and just chat story creating with you guys one day on something that I would create. I had this whole like universe dictated out one day, and yeah, I'd have to really.
Oh, so wait, you put thought it? This wasn't off the cuff. Like you thought this out.
This is some years of shit that I put my brain.
I thought you just made this up right now on the spot.
No. I fucking like no. I've planned to make this book for a long time. This comic book. I told you, Brian, like I'm about this, bro. I'm about this. I had this character. Check this out. You can tell me what you think about this.
All right. The
main character of my story, his name is Carbon. Like that's his like superhero name or whatever.
Okay.
The name of the comic book that I've been writing and dictating is called The Elysian Fields.
Okay.
And the Elysian Fields in Greek mythology are the place where the gods go to die or relax.
Okay.
And what it is the Elysian Fields is a hospital for superheroes. It's kind of like when superheroes get injured, or it's like a psych ward for people with powers. And the thing is there's 7 major heroes that have gotten powers in nature that human beings just should not have. And the main one his name is Carbon, and he's like Magneto, but instead of metal, he does it with carbon, like the matter carbon. Like he can like manipulate it in any situation. And carbon is like in the facet of everything atomically. You're talking about like a 17-year-old kid that the first story that I have about him, he's about to graduate from high school, like the puberty situation, like when your powers kick in with puberty. And he's about to marry his girlfriend or ask her to marry him. And he ends up turning her into Diamond when she says yes. and then he wipes out his entire town because he can't control his powers.
Okay.
Yeah, so like and it's just a power human beings shouldn't be allowed to have. You know what I mean? Like who dictates?
But he's not a
that kind of-
human. He's not a,
well, technically he's a human, but he's like in the next evolutionary step of humankind.
okay.
And you don't get to dictate what power you get. But it's like the thing about it is if you think about the way comic books are, everybody always gets these like badass, cutesy, badass powers. Cyclops, laser vision, Jean Grey. Oh, I can read minds and move shit with my hands or my brain or whatever. Oh, Fantastic Four, I could stretch and turn on fire. No one ever gets some shit that's like, oh, I can legitimately choke you with the air around you and I can't control that shit. You know what I mean? Like no one gets like ungodly powers for no fucking reason that they just.
I'm gonna be like 1000% transparent with you. I'm high as a motherfucker right now, bro. And your story is
You're like, this shit, it's freaking me out.
your
Dude.
story is tripping me the fuck out. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
It would be equivalent, Brian, to having like, imagine if you were the Flash, right? You could run
Yeah.
as fast as you fucking can, but you're not durable. So the first time you take off in Vertigo, like real fast, and you come to a stop, like your legs disappear into the ground, dude, because you like just erase your legs like an eraser.
That's okay.
That's fucked
Yeah.
up. You're like, that's fucking horrible. Or
Yeah.
imagine like Cyclops with cross eyes, dude. Like he's
True.
just cockeyed, bro. He's just shooting lasers.
So now you're
man.
just
Those-
fucking with me. So because I told you I'm high, you feel like fucking with me. I'm
Oh,
not
that's
stupid.
hilarious.
I'm just high as fuck, bro. And your
I
story is
used,
tripping me out.
I used to have this comic book I wrote a long time ago when I was in high school, and it was called the Superhero Short Bus. And it was just a
The
bunch of people with like the
Superhero Short
useless
Bus.
powers, bro. Yeah, like a dude that could breathe under Coca-Cola, bro.
That
Like,
way,
I'm
a
talking
dude
like-
that could do what?
That can breathe under Coca-Cola.
Okay.
Like not water. Coca-Cola.
No, I heard you. No, I heard you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coke. Yeah, I got
Or that
you.
would be like the ability to see through your eyelids. Like when you close your
I
eyes,
can
you can
see
still
the
see. Like,
similar.
yeah,
I can see the similarities.
yeah. That's some funny shit. Man, I'm telling you, man. When I used to be a part of like the comedy circuits, we used to always do that shit. We used to
You
always come
sound
up
like
with, the
you are the one that's high as fuck, and I'm the one that's.
yeah, probably. I was like, I probably am. Not even kidding. Sal Segudo, what is up, my dude? In the comment section, what is up? Gabe, of course, said never compromise your integrity, straight up. And Jeremy says legit, man. And I think he's talking about the book that I want to write. And Sal says a mutant. I guess you could consider a mutant, but that's the thing. It's like I would have to ask you guys. I wouldn't be able to use the words mutant. I wouldn't be able to use the word what inhuman, or you know what I mean? Like everybody's kind of like use those words for people that are metahumans or whatever. Like, so I'd have to come up with a badass word, and I'd have to probably outsource it to you guys just to see if I could get an idea, because I wouldn't be able to figure that shit out.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be able to. That'd be pretty hard. But yeah, that's my goal. Is I want to try to get my foot in the door this year when it comes to writing a book. And I think that kid's book with the vampire would be pretty solid. I've had a lot of work on it. I've the only thing I haven't done is like the panel art. I've done character designs, so I've drawn out the characters pretty well. I've kind of got the story like through and through script wise, but I just got to write it down and I got to figure out how I can get it produced. I know that there's a way, if I'm not mistaken, you guys could probably find this online if it's something that you're interested in. I think I've heard that creating a book through Amazon is probably the easiest way to get published, because it's like, I want to say like 32 pages, like front and back. And from there, they'll publish it and you can buy your own book for like soft cover for like $10.
Mhm.
And then you can buy a bunch of your books off of Amazon, have it sent to yourself, and then have book signings, dude. It's easy money. Yeah, it's an easy way to do it, man. It's not even too crazy.
I dig it.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. So I'm gonna try this year. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool that we could start getting into our conversational stuff. So, guys, the theme of the show today, and this goes out to anybody that's watching the show. Thank you guys for tuning in. We want to talk about our top 5 moments of all the different types of nerdy shit that we can think about, which is, of course, I know off the top of my head, it's like top 5 Marvel moments, top 5 DC moments, and for us, our own personal top 5 moments in spectacular nerd news of 2022. So you guys, if you can, put us in the comments your guys' 5 top moments of each of those footnotes, and we'll talk about them for sure. But Brian, my guy,
What's up?
I want to ask you. Oh, hey, as a matter of fact, guys, I don't know if anybody knows this, but Brian and I, the way we met was we met on our friend's podcast, right? And on the podcast itself, we had a guest, Promise Braxton, right?
Correct. Yes.
Was that the first one, or was that our second? Is that our second meetup?
I
first.
don't remember. No, I think that might have been the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that was the first one.
Shout out to Promise Braxton. She just did a big ass AEW match. Did you see that?
Yeah, she's on the
AEW.
No, she's on the AEW, but it's on Rob, help me out. It's not like the proper show, but it's on like the After Dark thing, and it's dope. Like a lot of the underground indie talents that are coming up through the ranks in AEW are on that show. So yeah.
I mean, she's on the rise, man. She trains with what, Booker T?
She trains in Booker T's gym, yeah.
Yeah, man. But I saw the match a little bit, and man, dude, Promise, like, she's a badass, man. When we got to sit down and talk to her, I was like, oh, this girl's like super nice, and she's real shy.
No,
and
she's nice, but
she's a fucking
kick your
beast,
ass.
man.
Yeah, no,
she's an animal, man. It was so cool to watch her fight. So shout out to Promise Braxton for being such a badass and putting on such a great performance. Can't wait to see her career just explode this year, man. Just explode this year. But yeah, sorry, I just wanted to say that. I got reminded of it because I saw it in like a YouTube short. Like it just came out of nowhere, and it was like Promise Braxton versus, and I was like, Promise Braxton, why does that name ring a bell? Holy shit, that's Promise, man. We had a fucking fun ass conversation with that one day. And she looked like in our words, in the Spanish words, she's a maton. That's like a killer. So yeah, she looked like a fucking badass, man. Big fan. But onwards. Elizabeth, what's up? Welcome back. It's Happy New Year. We got our New Year's coming up. I have no idea what Skip Stelrech will be doing a signing in SA. Who's that? I have no idea who that is off the top of my head. You're gonna have to remind me, but that sounds like a great signing. But we're gonna start jumping into our top 5 Marvel moments of 2025. Now, I'm not gonna lie, 2025 wasn't really that sharp for me when it came to the movie cinema world, but Vicious from Cowboy Bebop, legit. How badass is that?
Wait, are you living in the year of 2025? Is that the year?
Oh, should I say 2025? Yeah, my bad. I'm probably high as fuck too. I mean 2023. It's because 5 years in my head.
3 years ahead. God damn.
Didn't I warn you when I said I get a lot of brain fog? Like sometimes I just get my words messed up.
Yeah,
that's straight. Like I'm not even kidding, man. But 2022 was kind of an interesting year to Marvel this year. They in my opinion, I felt that the year was a little bit rushed from when it came to films that they were creating. I think they were trying to get on the beat that they were at before the coronavirus, and I think it was very missed in certain situations, but there were some pretty cool moments that happened this past year, which are pretty good. And I want to make sure we talk about our top 5. And the way we'll probably do this is I'll drop one, Brian will drop another. And of course, like I said, guys, in the comments, guys and girls, give us your top 5 moments of your Marvel's top 5, and we'll make sure that we cover on 2. Brian, what was one of your most coolest moments of 2025?
This guy's the worst. Guys, all right, listen, I'm gonna let you guys in a little secret, right? This guy, Chris, right? He tells me right before we hop on, yo, bro, this is what we're gonna do today. We're gonna give our top 5 moments of Marvel, DC, and just in general, right before I go on. I'm like, bro, like I could have gotten a little bit of a heads up. So listen, I'm gonna wing this shit, and I'm just gonna crush this shit out the park, right? Just so you guys know. All right, you guys are gonna just know. And mind you, he has the audacity to have me go first. So yes, I will go first. I will go first.
Your microphone's a little bit it's a little junky though.
It's a little choppy.
Yeah, kind of. It sounds a little what is it? Like staticky.
Okay. Is it good now?
There you go. It's a little bit better.
All right. So my first moment, I think I started writing them down. My first moment. Okay, you know what? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think is your internet kind of still messing up a little bit or what?
Can you not hear me?
No, it just sounds like there's like a staticky grumble when you talk. It sounds very robotic. Yeah, move the wire around.
Check.
You're gonna have to blow in the cartridge like the old Nintendo.
I still sound bad.
Not too bad, but it sounds kind of.
All right, whatever. I'm gonna go. So
yeah, we're gonna take it.
My first, I don't have time for it. So my first moment of 2022 would be, oh, you know what it is? This is a shot just for you. All right, it's Wanda tanking everyone in Doctor Strange 2 and being a stone cold villain, just like I predicted, and Chris was fighting me about it. That's gonna be my first moment.
Yeah, because that was kind of mine in a little bit, but mine was for Marvel to acknowledge the Illuminati, to bring them in, and then of course, like to bring in, Reed Richards and Charles Xavier. That was very interesting. Of course, we didn't get to see Balder the Brave, which was another call out. And dude, we even got a fucking like screen accurate like Black Bolt. And it was the actor from the television show that they like, that Marvel shit on themselves. And they brought him back and they put him in full costume, which is what everybody wanted to see originally. So yeah, I totally agree with you. Them bringing in the Illuminati and then Wanda just fuck starting everyone. I think that was probably one of the, if not the coolest moments of Marvel in 2022. Like, to me, I think everything kind of like trickles down off of that moment in cinematic history. I mean, just the opportunity to see Patrick Stewart come back as Charles Xavier and then him come in the yellow wheelchair, like the yellow hovering wheelchair from the cartoon, and then to acknowledge the cartoon too. That was probably one of my biggest top 5 moments of 2022. Another moment, I'll go off for the next one. It's probably going to be, let's see, I wrote a little bit down. Oh yeah, okay. For me, even though this movie was not accepted very well, I want to say the introduction of Gore the God Butcher into the Marvel Universe. Now, it wasn't screen accurate, but them bringing in Christian Bale to play the role.
Dude, you shitted on that movie.
Yeah, but still, just the opportunity to have Gore the God Butcher there. I thought that was a great thing of 2022. Of course, I think we all agree that there could have been a different way that they handled it, but to see him come to life, and then of course for them to bring in Christian Bale as the character, like that to me was a pretty good moment too. That was my second moment of 2022.
Okay. My go. So off the top of my head, I think I'm gonna go with the T'Challa funeral.
Okay.
That's a really good moment for me.
Like the way they handled the movie and stuff like that at the beginning.
Not the movie, just the
that part of the beginning.
Just that part of Black Panther 2. I thought that was very touching to me personally, and I think that was one of the better moments of that movie. And it hit you. What's the weird part is, like, it's coming, and there was nothing you could do about it. Like, I was still in my feels about it, so that was really good. So that would be my second favorite moment of 2022. When it comes to Marvel specifically, yes.
Yeah. We're gonna start taking a little bit of the comments because the comments are coming in with this. Someone came in to I guess hype their business of promoting. Thank you very much. I don't think we're gonna do that right now though, but thank you for jumping in the chat. But Sal Seguda says seeing Moon Knight on screen for the first time in the Marvel cinema was pretty good. Well, you know what, Sal? I am not gonna lie. The introduction of Moon Knight to the MCU and the way that they handled the show, it was pretty cool, man. It was very, very cool to see him become a character. Now we know that he's there and we can bring him back. And the opportunity for them to do so much more with him is super cool. So yes. we have our variation of Deadpool, which is funny. So he's there, and then Deadpool, of course, will be coming in soon too. But Moon Knight, the TV show was good. The character design was amazing. Oscar Isaac playing the character did an amazing job. So the casting was perfect. Like, that's a really, really good moment. 22, good shit. Jeremy also says, and this goes off of one of my next moments. He says probably the 3 Spider-Men that come out in the Spider-Man No Way Home movie. Now, I think
That's 2021 though.
was that I think I was, well, it was like right on the cusp of 2021, right? It was like towards the end
I'm
of the
sorry.
year.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I'm sorry. But yeah, it's 2021. Go ahead.
But
Go.
even if it isn't, like maybe he got that wrong or right, but I think the nostalgia overdrive that Marvel has been doing to bring in things of the past into the present, into the recent comic book world, that would be like even that kind of correlates to with the Illuminati being in the Doctor Strange story. Like them using a lot of the old school characters brings such a really cool opportunity for us as fans to say, hey, you know what? Like, what about the Fantastic Four from the 2000s? You know, what about the X-Men from, you know, the First Class, or even the Fox X-Men? I mean, even as a matter of fact, that at San Diego Comic-Con what is it? Yeah, San Diego Comic-Con, they did the trailer for the 90s X-Men cartoon coming back. Like, it's so cool on the nostalgia overdrive that we have that's coming out. Like, I think that's super cool for 2022. That gives us so much opportunity going into 2023.
Yeah.
And our last comment of this section comes in from Elizabeth. And she says, Wong taking over everything in this phase. He needs more cameos. You know what? That is pretty cool, because I didn't even consider that, but Wong did an amazing job being the Sorcerer Supreme. Of course, I think we all want Doctor Strange there because that's from the comics, but the Wong character himself did an amazing job. All his cameos that was in, of course, Doctor Strange 2. That was, of course, She-Hulk. That was, of course, at the end, of course, Brian's one of his top movies of 2022, Shang-Chi. He came out at the very end. He's pulled his rank. He's pulled his position very well, and he did very well. And I'm really happy to see where they're going to take him in the next year. What I just don't want them to kill him off. Like, I don't want them to kill him. He has to die for Doctor Strange to take over the Sorcerer Supreme. Like, I just don't want him to die. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm not looking forward to that, but yes, I think he did an amazing job. What a cool thing to talk about for 2022. Jeremy also says, oh, my bad. It was 2021. Time is irrelevant, though. Time is irrelevant, by the way. Brian, what about you, man? Any more top 5 moments?
Yes, I'll go with John Krasinski actually showing
fantastic.
up as
Reed Richards.
Yeah, that was. But so you know what? That's gonna be like my best moment and then my worst moment, because he gets totally tanked.
Yeah,
like,
he gets totally tanked. Spaghetti
he gets
eyes,
totally tanked. But dude, like, that was a great moment for me. And even though, like, you kind of heard the rumblings, you thought he was in it, but then to actually see him, and then just the way that he like entered the scene was badass. It was just like it was like a cube that just opened up, and he just falls in. That was awesome.
Yeah, straight, man, straight. I would say one of my top 5 moments is probably going to be like the toppest 5 moment for this list. Of course, I said the Illuminati was probably the top thing for me. I think it was one of the coolest things. But in the more recent time, Namor was actually a fresh breath of air. I was very nervous about it during the whole entire year, and before that, when they mentioned it, I was constantly just worried and telling people that I was not excited for it. But Wakanda Forever actually turned out to be a pretty good movie. It didn't make the money it needed, but the way they handled the Namor character and the people from Talocan, and how they respected the culture and tried to bring up people in the Hispanic line and the Latino actors and stuff like that, I was impressed. I was impressed by they handled everything. It was kind of like a really nice thing to see before the year ended. And that, because I was watching like the red carpets that they were having in Mexico and South America, and the acceptance of the culture into like the Marvel universe in Latin America. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's super interesting to say. Like, it sounds weird, but like seeing Marvel, like one of the big two, do like a big party in like the heart of Mexico City. Like I was kind of taken by that. It kind of caught me like, knowing how hard it is to live life in a place like Mexico. And then knowing that, they're doing that over there, it just makes you appreciate the situation more.
Mhm.
And to me, that was a really cool moment of 2022. And to me, that'd probably be the last big moment. To me, that's already like 5, dude. I mean, I could
Was
probably
it?
think
I
of a
wasn't
lot
keeping.
more.
I should have been keeping track. I think I might owe you one more. I'm not sure.
I mean, if you have one more, I mean, it's not, it's not bad.
Not really. I'm thinking. Honestly, I think the whole show, Moon Knight was 2022, right? Yeah, I
Yeah,
think Moon
yeah.
Knight was
All of those shows came out here.
was 2022, right? So I think just the whole show of Moon Knight was awesome. I don't think people are putting enough respect on that show. The
Production of it, right?
acting, just everything, just the acting was amazing. Like that show was fucking great. The CGI not so much. It was some spotty CGI, but other than that, like just the acting of itself, that show is top tier as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Guys, if you have any other top 5 moments for Marvel, make sure you let us know in the comment section. We want to hear them. Of course, there's a million moments that Marvel had this year that were really good. We had the introduction of Miss Marvel. We had the introduction of America Chavez, the younger cast of the Young Avengers. We had Sam Wilson taking the shield. We had Bucky getting through his therapy. I mean, fuck, we even had the introduction of She-Hulk, which I know a lot of people didn't like, but we have She-Hulk now in the Marvel universe. That's something to look forward to. Like, fuck, even the talk of incursions. If you're a comic book fan, the movies have come this far that they're talking about incursions. And in the last 20 years of comic book history, like incursions, that's a huge moment in Marvel history when they start talking about that shit, because you know what's coming in the comic books. Like, you know what's coming when they talk incursion. So there's so many cool things. If you have any other moments, Elizabeth also says, I think Lupita said she was really excited for the movies since she's from Mexico herself. That's correct. That was absolutely correct. Yeah, but it was so cool, man. It was so cool. But if you have any other moments, let us know in the comment section. We'll make sure we cover that too. Onwards to the next part. Sal says we had Sakaar, Shrek, and She-Hulk also. Yeah, fuck. We have Sakaar and She-Hulk, which means Planet Hulk is now destined to happen for reals, and we have no way to slow it down. So that's gonna happen. But onwards to the next part of the conversation. Now, this one we have a lot of top 5s. Now, I don't know if they're good or they're bad, but there's a lot of top 5s. And now we're going on to top 5 DC moments in 2022. Brian, do you want to start this or do you want me to start it?
I'll start it.
Fucking DC, man. DC had no chill this year.
No, you know what? I was gonna try to stay positive, but I gotta get this out. The one thing that I'm just thankful for, or just my top moments, is that the Snyderverse is finally dead. Like James Gunn put a bullet in its head and called it a day. And just the fact that he had the cojones to do that is amazing. So,
dude, I'm not even kidding. That was my second one.
Yeah, was it
second on the list of 5, dude?
No shit. Yeah, no. The fact that the Snyderverse is finally in the dirt, I'm 1,000% supporting of.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, there was some cool hype about it, and I will never. I'll die on this pillar. There was never a moment that I did not want to see a 4-hour Batman and Superman movie. There was never a moment I didn't want that. Like, I wasn't going to deny when someone's like, oh, fuck, I did a 4-hour Batman movie, that you're going to be like, nah, I don't want to watch it. You're going to be like, dude, it's Batman. Yeah. I will fucking bury myself in a 4-hour movie if it comes to superheroes. Will I watch it more than like twice? Probably not. But knowing that there's a 4-hour movie that I can spend 4 hours of my life on, I'll definitely check it out. But there was no way the Snyder Cut was going to get a return like that, man. There was no way. But yeah, the Snyder Cut finally coming to an end was probably a nice nail in the coffin. But that's going to be tied to my first top DC moment of 2022. and that's going to be the entire conversation of Ezra Miller. Like, to me, the entire situation with Ezra Miller has been one of my top DC moments throughout it. That shit was like, Ezra Miller gives new meaning to Team No Sleep. Like, that motherfucker is on fire all the time. He goes off and he robs some people in Hawaii. Next thing, he's kidnapping kids, grooming children. He's got a bunch of people tied up in a barn with a bunch of guns everywhere. He believes he believes he's dating a demigod who's going to give birth to the Antichrist. Like, you can't slow this motherfucker down. Like, you can't. He's just Team No Sleep. It was awesome. I think Ezra Miller was like the most highlighted moment of 2022 for me for DC. So, like, to me, that was a moment. And of course, like, him doing so much shit ended up putting the nail in the coffin for the Snyder Cut. Like, because even with that, like, there was a possibility they weren't going to release this like $700 million movie or whatever.
I don't believe that. I don't believe Ezra Miller had anything to do with the Snyderverse. I don't believe that 1 second. I think that nope. I just think that whoever is in charge of pulling the plug didn't have the balls to do it because of how toxic the fan base is, and that's one of the reasons. And let me just clarify: the reason why the Snyderverse being deaded is a top moment for me is because now it kind of eliminates some of the toxicity with the DC fan base. Like, they're still gonna be there, but they're gonna have less of a voice. So anything that promotes less toxicity, I'm all for. And it just needed to be done. Everyone that was an executive that was too much of a, you know, for lack of a better word, a bitch about it and just didn't want to pull the plug. James Gunn went in there and said, you know what, fuck it, I'll do it. And so he did it, and I praise him for that because no one else seems to have the balls to do that. Like,
in our comments, Jeremy says, "Come on, man, we got all these great castings out of it. I'll die on the hill for the Snyderverse."
Okay, so again, let me clarify that I'm not against the Snyderverse. I'm actually a fan. Like, when it came down to the Snyder, like the Snyder cut,
yeah, it was fun.
That I was looking for more, but the fact of the matter is they don't plan on doing it anymore. So you might as well just put it to bed so that it can end some of the toxicity in this shit. So
for me, I'm in the same boat in saying that the casting of the characters was very well done. I think they chose a really great cast to play the characters of all the Justice League, of all the extra actors in it. That's not the problem. I think, of course, the problem was the release of how Snyder said he wanted to take the story, which is, I mean, I tell people like that every week, like the idea of Bruce Wayne banging Lois and having a mystery baby and making Superman raise it and do all this shit. Like, I think that was a little too much, but I just don't like Snyder the way he tells stories. The casting is fantastic though.
It gave me one of my best Batman. It gave me one of my probably my favorite Superman of all time.
Even Wonder Woman, man. Wonder
Woman was awesome, except for that second movie. So no, I'm a huge fan of the characters and from what it produced and what it gave me. But again, if you don't plan on doing it anymore, then just get rid of it. Just
get rid of it. If you cannot get it together.
Yeah.
I think they had a lot of turmoil when they had Ben Affleck leave, and then Superman, of course, he had a situation happen the first time when he bounced out. Yeah. I think when that was happening is when they should have been like, "Hey, let's cut this out for a little bit. Like, let's really get our shit together and see what we're gonna do." But here's an interesting thing: Sal Seguda says they shouldn't release the Flash movie. Oh shit!
And see, I like Ezra Miller as the Flash. I'm sorry, I know that's like unpopular, but like I like him as the Flash. He works for me. Like I think
he did pretty good. Like I think he did all right when they brought him in. Of course, I kind of know where Sal's coming from, and I don't know. Maybe he can leave a comment in the section with this, but I was really hoping that they were going to use Grant Gustin from the show because I thought he did a pretty good job. And when they brought in Ezra Miller, I was like, "Ah, fuck! Like, you made a mistake." You know what I mean? And then, of course, Ezra Miller at the time was doing like I want to say the Harry Potter films, and he did like another film at that time too. So it wasn't enough. And then, he was that wasn't him. That was Grant Gustin. He just really didn't do anything for me at the time. But I won't forget that the thing that sold me on Ezra Miller being the Flash was they were doing an interview and someone had asked him because the audience, the people that were talking about it were very torn on Grant Gustin not being the Flash. So Ezra Miller in an interview was like, Grant, oh dude, he's amazing, dude. He's a way better Flasher. He praised him a lot and then said, hey, but you never know, like, you know, maybe we'll run into each other. Maybe the Speed Force is big and there's a lot of multiverses and I can't wait to see what they're going to do. And for him to give that acknowledgement, kind of knows that he knows the character. He's giving acknowledgement to Grant Gustin's acting in the Flash TV show and building it. And he's praising it. And then only for later on for him to agree to come out in the TV show Flashover with him, the crossover. Like Grant Gustin coming out with Ezra Miller in the Flash crossover. I thought that was him being a good sport, him praising the show, and then for the writers of the TV show and the movies to come together and allow Grant Gustin's Flash to name Ezra's Miller the Flash. I don't know if you remember that in the crossover. Did you ever get to see that one or no?
I saw the episode, yeah.
Yeah. He Grant Gustin checks him out and he goes, oh, you're the Flash of your universe. And Ezra Miller goes, the Flash? And he's like, the Flash? Like he didn't have a superhero name. So Grant Gustin gives him his name. I thought that was such a cool nod of the hat. I thought that was really cool. Yeah, man. Ezra Miller, the entire scandal just kind of like, I think it just put the nail in the coffin. Like you already had Ben Affleck leave, of course, because he couldn't. I think he just got tired of everybody saying the movie wasn't great. The Whedonverse one, right? Mm-hmm. And then, of course, at that moment in history is when Henry Cavill was like, "Hey guys, I got some other projects. I'm going to bounce away from this for a bit," and everyone freaked out. And then right after that was Ezra Miller's run. And I think when Ezra Miller happened, the studios were like, "Yo, guys, we're in trouble. Like we're in trouble. We need to get some shit done." And yeah, I think that's what pretty much nailed it in the head for the Snyderverse for me. But yeah, those are my top two moments so far on the DC shit. What about you? So we got Ezra Miller, and we got Snyder No More, which is me and you both agreed on that being one of the top ones. What's another one for you?
Yeah. I'm kind of cheating here. Again, I'm winging this shit, right? So to piggyback off of that last point, I gotta give like a top story to James Gunn and Peter Safran taking over for DC, bro. Like I'm telling you, that was such a boss fucking move, dude. Like, but all right. Rad. So listen, I gotta figure not much has been going on with DC movie wise. So the only things that we're gonna have are the same. We're probably gonna have the same
drama moments.
Yeah, we're probably gonna have a lot of the same or around the same. So yeah, my next one's gonna be James Gunn and Peter Safran taking over and kicking everyone the fuck out, bro. I love that. Rock, take a hike. Henry Cavill, take a hike. Everybody take a hike. Get out.
Your papers, man. Get out of here.
Clean slate. I'm the new co-CEO, bro.
He gave everybody some free DC boxes to pack up their shit on their desks
and a hat. Take that with you. Take that with you and be merry.
Yeah, the DC reboot is my last on the list of 5 things that happened this year, and yeah, it correlates right with that. Like the best thing that I could have heard for the DC universe at the ending of 2022 was like, all right, guys, we've listened. We know we fucked up by keeping this going, but we listened to you. We're going to restart everything. We're going to do it right. We're going to bring in this dude. His name's James Gunn. You know him. He made Guardians of the Galaxy. He made Peacemaker. He does all right shit. He's going to run it with a friend of his, and they both read comics. And you just see the audience like this, like, they're just clapping in the back. Yeah, just fucking clapping in the back. It is what it is. It is what it is. So like it was a great thing that happened. I think that's going to be such a good moment for DC and its history. Of course, there's some questions that we all got that we need answered, which is like, what are they going to do with Peacemaker? What are they going to do with? Because Peacemaker wasn't bad. It was a fun show. Brought in an interesting character.
A lot of people gave it a lot of flack, but I like that show.
No, it's fun. It was funny. I mean, it's an HBO Max show, which means it could literally just go straight to rated R. Like you don't have to walk around Disney shit. You don't got to walk around a kids show. It's HBO Max. You used to watch that shit with a fuzzy screen just to see some boobies at night when your parents were asleep. Like you know what HBO is about. So when they brought in Peacemaker in the comic books was not as fun as this TV show made him. Like literally Peacemaker, the way James Gunn ran him, he made that show fun. He made that character cool again. So you have to bring that guy back. People are going to be excited to see. And that, not only that, dude, I almost flipped the fuck out today. I almost fucking 180 I'll throw my phone to the ceiling. I don't even give a shit. I'll
don't
flush
do that. Why? What happened?
Toilet. I saw an article today that was like Dave Bautista, the best wrestling to actor.
Oh, I saw that.
And I was like, fuck out of here, dude.
All right. Hear me out.
Did.
Hear me out. All right. So that was my question. Who would you throw? Like, whose hat would you throw in the ring on that? I guess you would say John Cena, right?
I mean, he did a good job. I mean, but if we're gonna talk wrestlers to film, there's probably a handful of wrestlers that we can like correlate with, right? Who else has been? I mean, fucking Kevin Nash, dude. Are we gonna overlook the idea that Kevin Nash? He did a lot of stunt work, but dude, the motherfucker got stabbed for reals and still fulfilled the scene.
All right, so is that going to be like if I were to ask you to put someone opposed to Dave Bautista, you would legitimately use Kevin Nash as?
Nah, I use Hulk Hogan. Fuck that, dude. Hulk Hogan.
His movies in the 90s. Hogan's movies were ass, bro.
What have Dave Bautista done?
He was in The Man with the the Man with the Golden Fist, right? He was in all of the Guardians of the Galaxies.
Andre the Giant, bro.
I'm rolling. He had one movie.
Andre the Giant.
I'm rolling, yo. Dave Bautista is 1000% the best wrestling actor. We just
had this argument last week about The Rock being the greatest.
His movies suck. His movies suck.
And so you think Dave Bautista outacts The Rock?
Yes. Are you saying no? Are you saying The Rock is a better actor than Dave Bautista? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, straight, dude. Straight. Dave Bautista is like a fucking towel, bro.
You don't even know because The Rock doesn't even act. It's just The Rock in every fucking movie. He's not even acting.
When The Rock first came out, he got roles.
The Scorpion King? You're gonna hang your hat on the Scorpion King, bro?
Well, I love that movie, man. No, I'm just kidding.
Whatever. Whatever, dude. Nah,
man.
Roddy
Piper, dude. They live.
Again, one movie.
For me, I think The Rock was really good when it came to, I think, the one that he made with the little girl where he played like the stepdad or whatever. I forgot what movie it's like. I wouldn't say the Tooth Fairy or whatever, but there was that movie. There was the Walking Tall movie, which he did fairly well with Johnny Knoxville. And then there was the other one with Christopher Walken. That was the one where it's him, Rosario Dawson, and Stifler. I just can't remember the name of the fucking movie.
Because you know why you can't remember the name of the movie?
Don't even fucking say it, Brian. You're like, because it's not good. Because it's not good. Every fucking one-liner Christopher Walken had that it didn't even make sense to the story they were having.
You can't even. You're to present your argument. You're offering movies that you don't even know the name of, bro. Like, what are we talking here, bro?
Okay,
I'm telling you what we're comparing it to. I'm comparing it to Dave Bautista and the movies that he has been in. It's very clear on what we're talking about, right? It's very clear. I would need you to tell me if I'm saying to you that Dave Bautista is the best wrestling actor of all time. I'm expecting you to combat me with who you think is better. Well, and the rundown is not going to cut it. I'm sorry.
The thing is like, you know what? My argument would consider the fact that Dave Bautista, where he does right in this, is he stays away from like typecasted roles. Like he doesn't always go for like the dumb
Blade Runner. He was in the new Blade Runner.
The Rock doesn't get called for those kind of movies. Yeah, nobody that's making serious films is calling The Rock. The reason why they call The Rock is because, like you said, he's Mr. Entertainment. Like they look at him and they're like, just straight, he's meant for this one part. They don't give him like serious roles. I think the only serious role he's ever had, And then that's my opinion. That's my thing is the one that he played with the little girl, where he's the NFL player, and he's trying to be a better father. I think that film itself, and I mean the reason why I can't remember it is because it's so fucking long ago.
It's because the movie sucked. That's why.
No, the movie was good. I'll fucking die. I think that was one of The Rock's best movies. The daughter played a really great role. The story was well written, and The Rock had to do something other than body slam a motherfucker and then look at him with an eyebrow. Like he had to act. Now the thing is Dave Bautista gets picked for only the game plan. There you go. He only gets chosen. That's the cool part for Dave Bautista is he gets chosen to be in movies that are going to be in award fucking situations like Blade Runner, but he was like outclassed by Ryan Gosling. And the only thing Dave Bautista could do is play the built dude, the built guy that has to slam somebody, but he's doing it in like 4K movies. Dave Bautista just gets really great roles though. Yeah. The Rock doesn't get chosen for those roles. Listen. The Gridiron Gang. Oh, damn.
Wait! Don't. You're not gonna sit here and try to have a sympathy party for the highest paid actor in the world. No, you're not gonna get that off. You're not gonna get that off. I don't want to hear about that. All that means to me is that he sucks at fucking acting and he can't get any gig that he wants. Dave Bautista is a better actor, and that's why he's getting these gigs. He is a way better actor. Jeremy got it right. He says, "I don't know, man. Dave has done a lot of different character movies. The Rock has done the same character 90% of the time. That's the reason why
he gets chosen for those roles.
That's the reason. No. I promise you 90%, and like Jeremy saying, 90% of the roles that The Rock is accepting, I bet
they're all the same characters.
I'm willing to risk any amount of money that the character that was originally planned looked nothing like what we saw on camera. It was The Rock coming in there, was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna be The Rock, and you're gonna sell this movie. And that's what he's done consistently over every fucking movie. That's the reason why he is ineligible for this conversation, and the winner by default is
Dave Bautista.
Let's go.
I don't know, man. For what it's worth, John Cena came out of left field with Peacemaker.
John Cena has been in a handful of movies. You can't name one thing that John Cena.
He always does like those weird like WWE. I mean,
he's not a good actor.
Kane. Can we put Kane in this shit since he was in one of those weird ass movies?
He's not. No, he's not a. John Cena is not a good actor, but the reason why Peacemaker works so well is because it's such an oddball character. Okay, I will give you that. Ballers, The Rock was good, but that's it. Like that was the only thing I'll give him was Ballers.
What about that one with Marky Mark,
and it wasn't because of him. It was mainly because the writing was so good, just in general of Ballers. It really didn't have it. You could have put anybody. You could have put anybody in The Rock's role right there, and that show would have.
What about that? What about those two movies? There was one of them where he was in a movie with Marky Mark, and then another one where he was in a movie with John Travolta.
Marky Mark.
Yeah, they played like bodybuilders selling like steroids and cocaine.
I don't remember.
Fuck, I can't remember that movie, but that one.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I might have seen like all of 2 Rock movies.
You're like,
you could spit out movies. Yeah, you can spit out movies to me, and I'm not gonna remember. The only ones I do remember.
A poll then. I want to Pain and Gain. I want to take a poll in the comment section. Dave Bautista or The Rock, who would technically be the better?
Says, I'm gonna go see a Rock movie. Nah, dude. Like, no, like the only one we've ever done that. The only thing we've ever done that to was fucking Black Adam. That was it. That is literally the only Rock movie collectively people were like, yo, I'll go see that.
I don't know. I wouldn't say I'd be interested in a fucking Dave Bautista movie, but that one movie that he's coming out with, that's like this creepy psycho shit.
No,
that movie looks kind of interesting.
Isn't he? He's in Glass Onion, the new movie.
Is that the one he's coming out of?
It's already out. Yeah, it's on Netflix. He's in Glass Onion.
No one's gonna watch that shit.
Everyone watches that shit, and it's got good reviews.
Did you already check it out or no?
I haven't seen it yet, but I will watch it. But listen, I will put any Guardians movie up against any other of these actors' movies, and I'm gonna win. Forget about it.
Yo, what about Knock at the Cabin, dude?
What is that?
You haven't seen that trailer?
Knock at the Cabin. Oh, with Dave Bautista. Yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah,
that fucking trailer looks pretty good. Again, I haven't said anything where I'm like, man, I'm really wanting to see a Dave Bautista movie, But that movie, Knock at the Cabin, looks pretty damn good. It looks
It's because
then
you know why? You know why it looks good?
what? Because Rupert, the dude from fucking Harry Potter's in it, the redhead guy playing a psychopath and shit, or what?
No, it's because Dave Bautista's in it, and that's the reason
Oh,
why.
I knew you were gonna say that.
That's the reason why I win this argument. That's why.
Elizabeth says neither of them are good. Princess Bride for the win. Action.
I'll agree with you.
romance,
I'll agree
thriller.
with you there. Like
Yeah,
I could really leave both of them. I don't ever have
Yeah,
to see
dude,
another.
I'm just telling you, man. I was fucking.
If I
freaking out when
never
Simone was
see
like-
Dave Bautista in another movie or The Rock in another movie, I will be just fine.
you know
I
what?
promise you.
Tell me if it's not like a really cool situation. And this happened to me a long time ago. I think I've told you guys before. I'm really big into music. There's a band that I've loved ever since high school, and it's gonna sound weird, but I'm a big fan of Slipknot. I don't know if you're a Slipknot fan, Brian. I don't
I'm
know
not,
if that
no.
correlates.
I know who they are,
Yeah.
but I'm not a big
I mean,
fan.
for what it's known and for what, like, as a person that's just kind of casual about it, like, they're a big heavy metal band, right?
Yes, I do.
When they made a song called Snuff in Vermilion Number 2, which is a very soft song, like I'm talking like acoustic love song, I was totally floored by it. And the reason why is because you're so used to hearing these people in their genre that the moment that they give you something that's so disconnected, it's almost beautiful. Like it's almost like masterful. When like at the core, it's just music. It's good to be versatile in your career or whatnot. And I think that's the problem with a lot of these wrestling actors is they usually get typecasted for the big dumb jock roles.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what Dave Bautista did was he planned to say, well, no, guys, I want to act.
Yeah.
Like I want to act. So when they hit him up for of course, like the Guardians of the Galaxy, he did a great job. He didn't have to act really hard. He just had to be very knuckleheaded. And he does fantastic. I think him as what's his face? It's great. Like it's great. But when he did, and I give it up to you for saying when he did Blade Runner,
Mm-hmm.
I was taken by it. I was like, oh shit, like he's like a Lenny from Of Mice and Men.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's this big dumb guy. Like, yeah, he's gonna fight the dude, and Ryan Gosling's gonna kick his ass for no reason. But at first, he's almost like he's pleading with him that he doesn't want to be violent.
Yeah.
And that was cool. Like I was like, oh fuck, dude, maybe he's just gonna get his ass whooped and not fight back. Like that would be fucking crazy. Because my brain, knowing who this person is in his natural habitat of what he's been doing his whole career, he's always done stuff that's dealt in violence. So if he's put in a situation where he cannot solve it with violence,
Mm-hmm.
that's like the longest, or what's the long mile with that guy. What was his name? The Green Mile.
Yeah.
When he was in prison and he was just like the softest person, but he was huge and everybody was scared of him because he was big, but he was so soft. And you were like, your brain didn't know how to acknowledge that situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what Dave Bautista is doing. I think that's the career model he's going with, where he's like Henry Cavill and him got chosen for Mission Impossible. So they go off and they play like the bodyguard dude that just throws punches and shoots guns.
Mm-hmm.
But you do have your situations like this one coming up where, yes, he's a violent person, but he's playing like a what is it? Like a Mormon dude that's out there trying to tell you the end of the world is coming and he's trying to make it happen. And
Mm-hmm.
that shit looks wild as fuck. Like you're gonna give him a baseball bat. This guy's over here preaching the gospel, but at the same time, like he can't fit into a white t-shirt and it's a large or it's an XL. Like he looks creepy as fuck. Like I think Dave Bautista, the concept of us saying like these three wrestler guys are like actors or good actors in general is kind of like weird. But I think Dave Bautista is the one that's taking acting more serious. I think he's taking that genre. So for right now, I think he needs just a little bit more. For me, I'm gonna have to say The Rock for his earlier career movements. But right now, The Rock is not doing pretty hot in anything he's doing. So yeah, for right now, I guess Dave Bautista would be the better actor.
I win.
but I think over 2022, I think John Cena's Peacemaker was still the best thing that came out of any wrestler's acting career. That was the most memorable. For me, that was the most memorable. I think he did an amazing job. It was funny as fuck. He correlated very well with the co-actors. Like, it was pretty good. It was pretty good for something that I wasn't excited for. He made it exciting. So, my last two moments, because you covered, man, dude, you already covered three of them without even trying. Fuck, dude. We talked Ezra Miller. We talked, of course, No More Snyder Cut. We talked about the DC reboot. But my last two moments, they correlate with each other because of the domino effect. My first moment, because this is what happened first chronologically, was the return of Henry Cavill in Black Adam.
Yes.
I think that was a huge moment in DC history in 2022. I thought it was super cool to see him come back and put the blue and the red on, and I was super excited. And then a complete fucking failure. Henry Cavill is fired. Top moment of the last top moment for DC top 5. Henry Cavill is fired. Released because of the reboot, but technically not fired, but fired. And now he's let go. And everyone, the entire internet goes completely bonkers because they let go of the best Superman ever that's ever been alive in history or whatever. Those are my top fucking 5 moments in DC history. I think that kills it. I don't think there's anything left in the DC landscape that even comes close to that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, those are my fucking moments for that. Now, this is just a shot in the dark. What are your top moments in 2022 when it just came to like just regular nerd news? Now this is like reach. This could be like anything, bro. Cryptocurrency, fuck anything. What are your top 5 like tech, nerd, technological mishaps, crazy shit, movies, cinema, Star Wars? You know what's crazy is I don't have a top anything for Star Wars this year. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, I could say like, oh, Hayden Christensen, but he barely came out. I'll shoot you one. I'll tell you what. I'll go first.
Yeah.
Elon Musk buys Twitter.
Okay,
I thought that was a fucking crazy moment in 2022.
You know what? I'll stay in the same lane, but I'll up you one. I will just say that the billionaires of the world are just batshit crazy. Like, the 2022 has been the year of the billionaires just going absolute
all over social media.
Bonkers.
Everybody just doing crazy shit.
Hell yeah.
I want to say that another top situation for me in 2022, when it just comes to like just nerd in general, and this goes back to the comic book world, that dude Young Ripa breaking $1 million for his Kickstart for his comic book.
This guy Young, you
remember that shit?
You love your no, I don't follow Young Ripa, bro. You're like the only person on the planet that follows that kid, yo.
But even with that, and you know what I mean, because nobody likes this dude because his political shit, like no one cares for it. The fucking dude made $1 million for a comic book Kickstart that he started. Like, he started it on Kickstarter and made $1 million for that. So that's impressive as fuck, though.
Yeah,
that's impressive. I know dudes in the actual comic book industry that have started Kickstarts to do some shit, and they only get up to like 500,000 maybe at the max. This motherfucker made $1 million. $1 million. So even though we may not agree with him or see eye to eye with him in a shit, that motherfucker did something successful. And being that he's a minority, even crazier. Yeah.
You
don't see that? No. I see it. I respect that shit. I respect that.
So what else? I got was the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard thing this year?
Yeah, dude, it's this year, yeah.
That took up that and Ezra Miller took up a lot of airtime for us. We were talking about that shit for a long time. We were talking about that shit.
I'll still talk about that shit.
Oh, you know what else? Fucking Chris Rock getting slapped by fucking Will Smith.
That was this year. That to
me is probably
getting fucking tackled on stage like a month later.
Yeah, that's probably number one.
Whooping the fuck out of that guy like on stage while people laughed at him and shit.
It's weird because you would think that throughout the course of a year, much more important shit would have came to my mind. But no, it's Chris Rock getting slapped by Will Smith that just popped into my head. Like, that was wild to me.
Straight up, check this out. Sal Seguda says, is he the one that wrote the comic Isom? Yeah, that's his comic book. And he says, if so, as of today, He's raised he raised more than $3 million, dude, for that comic book. And it's only one comic book. It's like a graphic novel, like 90 something pages. $3 million on a fucking comic book. I don't give a fuck who that is. That's impressive as shit. Gabe, my boy Gabe says Elon Musk going to Chado Days in Brownsville and getting a Speedo Papa. That's funny as fuck. Chado Days is a big festival we have down here in the Brownsville, Harlem, well, out the whole entire valley. But Elon Musk actually showed up with him and his kid, and they were like walking around, and he bought this thing called a Speedo Papa, right?
Okay.
Do you know what a Speedo Papa is?
I don't. Tell me.
Okay. So what they do is you probably seen it. I guarantee you probably seen it because they have fairs and shit, right? Over there in Jersey. They got to have fairs sometimes, right?
Of course.
Like fairgrounds. So what they do is you get a potato and you stick it through this machine that cuts it in a spiral, and you shove a fucking piece of wood, like bamboo skewer, through the middle of it. And then you just pour hot dog like shit, like I'm talking like ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise. I mean, down here we put chile, like, you know, salsa and all that other shit all over it. But like, have you ever heard of this shit? A Speedo Papa, Spiral Papa?
No,
they're really good. It's just like fries. I mean, if you break that shit down, it's just fries. But it's just that Elon Musk ate one, and you know that dude's whiter than white. Like that dude probably gets excited when they have peppermint cocoa or fraps at Starbucks every Christmas. Like he's that.
So y'all just using some fucking Mexican shit, right?
Yeah. You gotta know what's up, yeah. You gotta know what's up. The Speedo Papa's like, that's like, you know what it's like when you go to the fair and everybody gets a turkey leg. Like everybody gets that big fucking piece of thing and they're fucking eating that shit. That's exactly what the Speedo Papa is done here. It's equivalent to fucking Cheetos, hot Cheetos and Takis, or hot Cheetos and cheese, hot Cheetos with. Did you ever do hot Cheetos and cheese? Wait, I have to fucking ask this.
I'm not a hot Cheetos person.
Oh shit.
What?
So you don't like you like spicy?
I'm not a big hot Cheetos. No, I love spicy stuff, but the Cheetos, they taste weird. Like this, like I like regular Cheetos, the crunchy or the puffs, but the hot ones, they taste weird. I'm more of like a Andy's Cap hot fries.
The hot fries,
like the potatoes, like the hot fries. I'm more aligned with that. So I love spicy shit, but the hot Cheetos, they taste like wax, bro. I don't know. They have a weird taste to it to me.
So like down here, what a lot of people do is they do flaming hots and they'll just add cheese to them.
That sounds disgusting.
How
does your stomach survive that?
It doesn't. You just shit that shit right out, man. Ulcers and all, man. Just shit that shit out.
Just a hot ring of asshole just for the next 12 hours. I can't wait.
Let's do it. Crying on the fucking toilet.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it.
You just say you're singing out "Sorry, Miss Jackson" and shit. Just hear that coming from the bathroom and shit.
Pretty much.
I'm telling you, man. Another situation that happened in 2005 or 2022. Top 5. Shit, what just happened last night? It's all over the internet. Andrew Tate got arrested for human trafficking and shit. You hear about this?
That's your boy, huh? Yeah.
Did you hear about it?
Hell yeah.
Oh no.
Dude. Do you subscribe now? All right, let's take these allegations aside. Are you an Andrew Tate guy? Are you a fan of his?
I think there's some moments that he'll say like one or two.
Don't get yourself canceled, bro.
No, fuck. I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna get myself canceled. There's no reason to get canceled.
Joking.
There is a weird psychological difference in how men are being treated nowadays. I do believe that the rise in suicide explains it all. It's hard to be a man sometimes because it's so demanding on people, and that I'll give 100% to. And then, you know, I wasn't a big fan of everybody getting participation awards and all this other shit. Like, I think it has to be tough because to be a man, it's a rough life. But of course, like, you can't go off and say and encourage this idea that women need to be treated like shit to be a better man. Like, there's a divide. There's chivalry. There has to be chivalry. And I think some of the stuff that he says about how men need to act more like men is important. But in the aspect of it, it's more about being mature. That's my concept. It's more about being a mature person, a caring person, an individual that cares about the next person next to you.
Yo, bro. So are you, again, the allegations aside, you're a fan? You like his?
No, not a fan of his.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of his. That's right, like Yeah, that's like that just goes with any situation. Like, do you?
Yo, you know what it is for me, bro? My problem with guys like Andrew Tate and other guys that are like him is not your views. It's the fact that if you consider yourself helping people, you can do that without being such a dick. I don't like. I get it. It's a way
It's a
to get.
character or
It's a
whatever.
character or whatever, but I don't see the need for it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because a lot of people are going to take listen, if you have that kind of reach and you have that kind of power, you could be using that for good. I don't
Yeah,
know why
yeah, true.
you would spend that energy into just being a complete
Asshole.
dick. Yeah, it just seems counterproductive to me
And then
personally.
encouraging the next dude that watches you to be an asshole too,
And then not
or be
only
a complete dickhead.
yeah. And so like the way that you're acting, it can be um it can be viewed very toxic to the wrong person. You know what I'm saying? Or I should say it can be regurgitated very toxically from the next
Mhm.
person. Maybe Andrew Tate is more elegant in how he conveys certain things, but not really. He's just like he's very
Yeah, he
blunt or
spews.
whatever. But the next guy that has the same ideology can
Could be
just be
worse.
even more. It can be even fucking worse.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like I don't understand. Like they're like fucking gremlins when it comes to these type of personalities.
Yep.
It's like they just spew and spew more. Around. And then now he's convicted, not convicted, but he's got
Yeah.
these allegations, bro. Like he needs a timeout anyway. Like he just needs to go the fuck away.
Yeah. Because there was that moment, like, okay, so for me, I don't like the whole like giant organizations coming down on individuals to kind of like convey how they live their lifestyles, which is like the Kanye West situation, where like the banks all of a sudden froze all his funds and they excommunicate him from different things and all this stuff. I'm not really a big fan of that because I think if it could happen to people with that much power and that much resource and that much life, can you imagine how easy it would be for someone that doesn't have a voice? Like, can you imagine if like the banks just froze up like my shit? Like, I don't got nothing, man. Like, I'm a fucking, I'm scrambling just to survive. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, the banks were like, "Yeah, we're not taking your paycheck, bro. Get out of here. No, we're not gonna do that. You can't eat here." And they just fuck my whole world up. And then what do? I get on Facebook and I tell like my 13, 14 friends about my life,
Mhm.
and no one, NBC News ain't gonna cover that shit. You know what I mean? ABC News ain't gonna cover it. That's the thing that I'm more intrigued by because of how easy it is for them to attack those kind of people in their privileged lives and stuff like that. That's the scarier shit. So like, when our kids become adults and they're at our age, that's just going to be even worse. The control that those type of people have is going to be even worse. And when it comes to all this weird conspiracy shit, I think there is like a big divide. I think a lot of these companies are trying to make it to where the people who are like the millionaires and the billionaires, that they're the class that's only on top. There's not going to be a middle class, and it's only going to be lower class under them. Like I really, really think that. And that's what's scary as shit. And I think just people in that aspect of 2023 just need to prepare. Just, get into assets and getting things that you can lean against the bank to have money, things that are valued and prioritized. Even the concept of carrying physical money is probably a better idea in 2023. But that's the only thing I kind of like worry about watching these guys' lives unfold. Because what's crazy is it's just, for me, it's drama. It's the tea. Andrew Tate gets arrested at 4 a.m. and I'm like, oh shit, my phone's blurring. What's going on? And I'm all intrigued, right? I wasn't intrigued about this motherfucker 4 days ago, but right now, I'm so invested in learning what this guy had for dinner or whatever. What I think is silly as fuck is that people are like, they're Greta Gutenberg and him were like arguing or some shit, right? Did you see that or no?
Vaguely. I know of it. I don't know what was said.
Did you hear about the pizza thing?
I heard about the pizza.
That shit made me fucking laugh, dude. So they're saying that when they were arguing, that this dude, Andrew Tate, was like, well, I'm gonna make a video and respond, of course, because that's the coolest thing for a fucking 38-year-old man to do to a 19-year-old kid. But dude,
that's how old she is. She's 19.
Yeah, she's 19. She's an adult, but like still, shit. Bro, a 40-something-year-old man like messaging a 19-year-old kid, like, come on, dude, like, stop picking on kids.
See, for me, it's the this is what kills me, right? So you're trying to call yourself the top
Could-
G, right?
like a top dude of dudes, right?
Top dude of dudes, right? But you don't have the smarts enough to not buy the fucking pizza that is strictly in Romania so that the Romanian authorities know that you're in fucking
Come on.
Romania.
Come on,
I'm
though.
supposed to take advice from this guy that
But no,
doesn't
no.
have the fucking smarts to buy a different fucking pizza or to not have the pizza delivered on fucking live so that
No,
the
but, like,
authorities
even
know
with
where you
that,
are.
Brian, even with that, like he travels like all the time. You can't leave a country without a passport and ID and all that shit. And it's not like
No,
he's gonna
you can sneak into a country and undetected. That's fine.
that's
but
way more weirder.
You
to
know
say.
that they're looking for you. Specifically, first off, why are you in Romania when you know that if they
That's where he
catch you, but if they catch you, you're going to jail.
But he lives there. Like that's where he lives. Like everyone knows where he lives. Like everyone knows that he lives there.
He was not in. No, I read the article that he was not in Romania for a while because he knew that they were looking for him, and the reason and he fucked up because he wasn't in Romania for a while. He snuck back in and then ordered a fucking pizza on live like an idiot, and that's how they found him. It's because they used his live and the pizza that was delivered to him that way. That's how they knew he was in Romania.
So you think
And
that's true? You think that's like absolutely true?
The
I don't
fuck
think
do
I
you
don't believe
mean?
it, man. I don't believe that the Romanian police are like, man, dude, we can't find this guy. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna look at his Instagram feed all day.
How do you think?
I don't.
How do you think?
I think they have fucking me.
Chris,
They're
Chris,
connected to Interpol.
Chris,
They're connected to all the different organizations. They don't
Chris,
need a pizza place to bust
Chris,
this motherfucker.
you're smarter than this.
Yeah,
You're smarter than this.
There's no way, man.
If you think to me that the authorities in the United States and abroad aren't using your social media to find out where some of these people are, you're fucking insane.
Yeah,
they're
but
on your
you're
Instagram.
gonna
Nope,
tell me-
nope. They're on your Instagram. They're on your Facebook. They're on every fucking thing. If
That's funny.
they are looking for you, why would they not use that? That would be the
Brian. This
criminals
is the most,
criminals are so dumb that they make it so easy for the authorities to catch you because all they need to do is go on your live.
social media.
The person that killed Takeoff, do you know how he got caught?
No.
From everyone videotaping it and putting on their fucking lives in their Instagram stories.
Oh, that was the Migos guy, right?
Yes.
The Migos guy, yeah.
The guy that killed him, he got caught because of that.
Yeah. Well, he got caught because it ended up
Everyone
making streams
reporting
all
this
over the
shit.
internet. But it wasn't, they were looking for that guy already for like apparently weeks.
They didn't know who this guy was, dude. They found him because they were looking on people's Instagram stories. And that's how they caught this guy. The same way Andrew Tate got caught was because this motherfucker was dumb enough to put on his live a pizza that you can only buy in fucking Romania.
For me, it's one of those things like I'm like, every time I hear someone go, man, he got busted because of a pizza, I'm like, dude, what do these cops do in Romania? Like, do they not have like equipment? Like, do they not have fucking people that actually do their
They
job?
fucking have it, but if the dickhead is gonna go on his live and buy a pizza that you can only
You don't
buy in
even need
Romania,
to bust
why
out
would
the
you?
equipment.
Why would you need the equipment? It's right there. Oh shit, he must be in Romania.
Can you imagine that one guy, that one cop that got hired just to be watching this guy's Twitter shit every day? He's just like, oh, fuck, I can't find this guy. Fuck, there's the pizza. Look, he's got a pizza from here. I get that shit all the time. He's got to be home. Let's get him. That is so fucking funny.
And just how you did that is
That's
how he
so-
that caught.
That's fucking funny.
The
to me.
guy that
There's
I'm
no
supposed to
way.
be taking life
That's like a
advice
fucking-
from.
That's like Pineapple Express, the movie. That's like shit that happens in like those comedy movies. To me, that doesn't
Yo.
make sense. He would have been, that guy was literally on.
So you're gonna
every
tell
day.
me that doesn't make sense, but some elaborate top fucking covert operation with equipment just to get this fucking guy. Like, who the fuck is Andrew Tate for them to spend all this fucking money and effort into the catching? No, we're just gonna watch this fucking live and he's gonna slip up at some point, and he did. That makes more sense to me.
Oh, look, dude, I think we opened up a rabbit hole. Gabe says, I think the guy that killed Takeoff goes further down the rabbit hole, in my opinion. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know what he
Yeah, I
means.
didn't even know there was like drama behind that.
Gabe's gonna have to tell you. I don't know.
Yeah, he's gonna have to explain it because I don't even know what's going on with that. But you know what? Like, so I never I never subscribe to those kind of situations. Which
that
is like
the law enforcement are gonna use your social media to catch criminals. That's
Uh,
never crossed your mind.
No, not that, not that. That's like those dudes that are like.
That's exactly what we're talking about.
I don't. If it's going to be an investigation that the law enforcement team has been investigating this dude, I could have told you where this guy was last week on Thursday because he was on a podcast, hanging out, chilling out, telling people off.
Not in Romania. Not in Romania. That makes a difference, Chris. Chris, how do you know he's his fucking personal assistant? You don't know where.
There's a kid.
You have no idea where he's been. He was good.
I'll tell you exactly why.
He was good. He was good as long as he stayed out of Romania. He knew that. He knew that. He was not supposed to get caught in Romania. If he got caught in Romania, they were gonna throw his ass in fucking jail.
So
he was dumb enough to get caught with a pizza that you could only find in it. Look it up, Chris. Like you're arguing with me.
I'm gonna have to look this up because
you're arguing with me, but just go on any publication and they'll tell you that the law enforcement has said the way we caught him is because we saw the fucking pizza box. They are saying this.
I'm gonna have to look this up. Romanian. What is it? Police claim pizza box theory, right? Pizza box.
I'm surprised that you're still having to type this in. It's there.
I have to.
It's there. No, because you put a few words in and it's gonna pop up. It's gonna Google.
Okay, can we believe the Boston Globe or no?
Yeah.
Okay, the Boston Globe says no.
That they didn't catch him because of the pizza box.
They did not catch him because of that.
So, but there is an article about
shit. Pay $1. I'm gonna pay $1 for this shit. It says, did a pizza box lead to Andrew Tate's Romanian arrest? No, but here's the rationality behind the theory. I mean, can we go with that or no?
What's the rationality?
I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna tell me to pay.
This guy gives me no. I don't want to hear that. The fucking pizza box. I mean, that's the only pizza that is in that area. That's how they knew he was.
While it was a nice theory, some things are too good to be true. Critics were quick to push back against Caraballo and the Romanian anti-organized crime unit leading to the investigation denied the pizza box played a role in Tate's detention or its timing. Quote, it was a hard job gathering all the evidence. In the months-long investigation, Romana Bola, a spokesperson for the Directorate of Investigations, Organized Crime and Terrorism, told Associated Press, however, as with so much that happened on social media these days, the veracity of the theory did not stop it from catching fire and being circulated to millions of readers. Caraballo soon found herself publicly defending the rationale that led to the pizza box theory. She followed up on Twitter on Friday addressing fair criticism that she said had jumped to conclusions, but she backed up her line of thinking. So I've gotten quite a bit for the pushback about my pizza box tweet. I want to explain through my process and acknowledge the fair criticism. I had no idea this would go insanely viral. So there you go.
So I'm on the New York Post. It says he posted a video of himself asking someone off camera to make sure these boxes are not recycled as he is handed 2 pies from Romanian chain Jerry's Pizza. Mm-hmm. This reportedly this is the New York Post. This reportedly was all the authorities needed to know that he was in the country in the authorities in tactical gear raided his villa.
And when was that? Because I'm literally talking. It's literally here.
This is the New York Post. This is the New York Post, and this was posted at noon this afternoon. It was the fucking pizza that is only in Romania.
Yeah, and it says Alejandro Caballaro or whatever from Esquire. Romanian authorities needed proof that Andrew Tate was in the country, so they reportedly used his social media post. His ridiculous video yesterday featured a pizza from a Romanian pizza chain, Jerry's Pizza, confirming that he was in the country. This is absolutely epic, right?
So what are we talking
And then
about
this
here?
person, the
So
same person, then
no,
said,
no,
"I've
no,
gotten
no,
quite
just
a bit of pushback
that's
about my
that's
pizza box
it.
tweet. I
That's
want
it.
to
Like,
explain my thought process and acknowledge that there's fair criticism. I had no idea that this would go insanely viral." So that's the person that you're talking about. That New York Post is claiming that that's what happened, but the authorities came out. And it says, so that brings us to the pizza video response. The reason I settled on that is because this is, let me see who said this. Caballero said that she saw this. However, there's no indication that it was that day, not a reposted video. There's nothing clarifying the date or the time.
so we don't know. So we don't know. So we don't know whether or not that was what they used. But yet again, it was a Romanian chain pizza location.
Well, yeah, but I'm telling you that the authorities of the Romanian police are saying like
they haven't.
Well,
no, they didn't say no. They didn't say no. From what you just read, from what you just read, they're not saying that it was either yes or no. They're just saying they haven't confirmed.
I mean, I could probably go a little bit deeper to find this, but
you just said it. You just said that they haven't confirmed, and I'm letting you know right now. I like my thought process that he is sitting here like a dickhead with Jerry's Pizza that you can only find in the one place that he's not supposed to be. Like,
that's fucking funny.
I think this guy is that arrogant. I think he's that arrogant. If you're gonna like, if it comes down to it, I think he is that arrogant to buy pizza, not realizing that it's gonna give his fucking location. I totally see that. Only people that are that arrogant make this kind of mistake. And yes, I do think this is the reason. This is how he got caught.
Yeah. Well, of course, the person that had made the original post that people are acknowledging that the pizza was the main reason is that girl Caballero, right? Caraballo, and she works for Esquire. And then, of course, like I said, Romana Bola.
He said, "I'll cash at the $1 to get the rest of the article."
However, so we get the full article. Let's do $1. Let's get it. However, in an interview with the Washington Post, Ramona Bola, which is the person that's speaking directly for the police department, said it was hard. It was a hard job gathering all the evidence. It began after Mr. Tate attempted to mock Ms. Gutenberg and tagged the climate activist in a Twitter post asking for her email so he could send a complete list of the car, the enormous, whatever the shit. But she denied that the pizza boxes in the Twitter video played a part of Mr. Tate's arrest. Yeah, and then she claimed that it was throughout all the evidence that they've been acquiring for months of the investigation that they're in with him, is that he was in led to the arrest.
that he was in Romania. They required surveillance for months to find him at his villa in his house.
But
what kind of surveillance?
Can you imagine that that's how the world sees your fucking police department? That the reason why you could do your job is because of some fucking random pizza chain?
He wasn't caught in some random place.
Can't get shit
done. He was not caught in some random place. He was caught in his house.
Yeah,
he was caught in his fucking house. Mm-hmm. So you're telling me that your intelligence couldn't get you this guy any quicker when you found him in his house?
I'm telling you, man. I don't know why.
What kind of intel is that?
Bust his ass like that.
What kind of intel is that?
I'm just telling you, man. I don't know.
That's like you have got to be the shittiest cops on the planet.
Exactly.
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't think someone's that dumb to have a full-on investigation for you to find him in his house. That's stupid. See, I believe that he fucked around and ordered a pizza because they didn't know where the fuck.
And found out.
Yeah, because they didn't know where the fuck he was, and that's how they caught his ass. They got lucky.
That's funny.
He threw him a bone. That's how life works, bro. Life is like that, dude. Like you could be like the top G, and it could be something stupid like you buying a fucking pizza that takes you down.
What is it? What is the concept of a top G?
Dude, I don't watch him. I don't need to learn how to be a man from another man like that.
I just never get that concept because, like, of course, like you're saying it, and I've heard many people say that that's what he claims to be. But what does that mean?
I don't know. It's just something that he calls himself. I think it's funny. I don't know. I could not. Honestly, I cannot for once. I think I've heard him speak one time from like a clip from either TikTok or something. But like him, Kevin Samuels, Like all they do, like their whole shtick is teaching men how to be men and teaching women how to be subservient to men and their roles in the world. And I don't need to learn that from another man, especially not from him.
Yeah, well,
So
I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
So I can't tell you what his ideology is. I don't know what it is. I don't listen to him.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was one of my top 5 moments. That just happened like yesterday. So wait, is he out yet or what? Oh, Vince asks if Andrew asks to get interviewed by you guys, would you take the offer? Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. That'll get us views. I don't give a shit if he's on it.
I would have a conversation with anybody.
Yeah,
I don't have to like you. I don't listen. I don't necessarily have to like you to have a conversation with you.
I mean, but that's the point to understand people is you got to talk to him.
Yeah.
I mean,
I work with a bunch of motherfuckers I don't like all day, every day. And I gotta talk to them, so I might as well do it.
Man, and I don't even need to be talking to them. But that's the concept. Like, it's good to be able to talk to people like that. Anyways, they are meninist. Is that a thing? What's a meninist?
Yeah. Meninist. It's exactly what it sounds like. A meninist, like almost like a feminist.
Of understanding.
It's
feminist.
It's like the opposite of a feminist. Yeah.
We have a word.
I did not know that. I didn't know that. I just thought that up, but I'm assuming that's what that is.
Yo, if you go by that, you're not a man. Men don't think of that
meninist.
Shit. Men don't think of that shit. We don't think of that stuff. We just do our thing, man. That's what makes it so weird. I think that's an awkward thing is like being brought up.
It was good. That was good. That was fucking epic. That was great. We're gonna roll with that. Real, dude. Whenever I see a Andrew Tate type, he's a meninist.
A meninist.
Yeah.
Like we're just as men, we're taught not to complain like that. Like that's a lot of talking for no good reason. Like you see a younger man and you just tell him, hey man, don't do that kind of shit. Like, you know, you just tell them to grow up or you just tell them to mature a little bit. You know, you go with the concept of chivalry, but you don't take a whole, like, you don't need to be screaming on another person's video or podcast or whatever to try to get your point across about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the thing that always makes me laugh whenever I watch those videos is like, I've seen a couple of, like, I just saw that he did a podcast this past week with another female podcaster. And in the podcast, if you go back and watch it, look how loud he has to try to talk over everybody to make his shit be more like, I don't know, stronger, direct or whatever. And in my mind, I'm like, man, why are you screaming, man? No one's trying to take your power away. Why are you getting so agitated? Just talk. If you don't have time, let them talk. I don't know if did you ever see the Piers Morgan video on him? Or did you see the highlights of it?
I don't watch this kid. I don't know who Piers the fuck Morgan he is.
He's a BBC.
No, I know who Piers Morgan is. Yeah, but I'm talking about Andrew Tate. I have never watched an interview with him. I don't know this kid. I don't know. I wouldn't be calling Piers Morgan a kid. But yeah, I don't know who this guy is. I don't know who he is. I've never watched any of his shit. I can't tell you. I can't.
That's a good concept. Georgie, I think hits it right on the thing. Is the small pee complex.
Whatever it is. Yeah. And listen, I'm not condemning him for his ideologies. I know a lot of people that are fans of his, that are friends of mine. But I just don't think I can at this stage. I'm 40 years old, dude. Like, what am I really gonna learn from this guy?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna learn how to become a man from him.
And this is just a little bit of, like, I guess, advice. There's a bunch of men that you can look up to that aren't that loud. There's a bunch of intelligent men that you can look up to. Just because this guy's screaming on the internet and being very
animated
about his response, you don't have to go for that. There's a bunch of dudes you can look up. Shit, Shia LaBeouf, dude, and John Burtnall just did some interviews not too long ago, and I look at their stuff. You know what? It's very crazy that I find it sounds weird as fuck. Now that I'm gonna say this out loud, but I find comfort in, like, criminals speaking of their past. Like, of them growing into better people.
Okay.
And I'm not talking about, like, no Jeffrey Dahmer shit, like where he fucking ate a bunch of motherfuckers and then he's like, no, I found Jesus. No, I'm not talking about motherfucker like that. I'm talking about dudes that used to run some really bad stuff and they get locked up and they see some shit and they're like, I had that one moment in my life that changed my life completely.
Yeah.
And now I'm a good dad, I'm a good father, and I've seen some shit. Like, did you get to see any of John Burtnall on Joe Rogan?
No.
There's this story he talks about, which I thought was insane, man. He had just got to Russia, when he was going over there to study at a theatrical school, like an acting school in Russia. And he was talking about this one day where he got lost, and you can't go around Russia without a passport and your ID because the cops will pick you up real quick. You can't do anything without your shit. In other words, like without your papers, or that's just civilian life, right? And he was talking about that. He was going to class and he was like clear across town already. And his friend was there with him to kind of like tour him around, and he forgot his fucking papers. He forgot his fucking ID and shit. And he was like, nah, well, fuck it. I'm just going to go to class and come back or whatever. And the dude's like, oh, you don't understand. You cannot do that shit. Like, go, like, I don't know. We're fucked. And he's like, no, well, you know what? I'll go back home real fast and I'll get that shit done. And I'll come back home and I'll come back with my ID and shit. And the guy's like, you don't understand. It's even worse. And he's like, no, it's good. I'm a man. I gotta deal with my shit, and I'll deal with it like, you know, like a man. I thought that was very honorable for him to be like, look, dude, you don't have to go with me. Like, I don't want to get you in trouble if I get in trouble. You know what I mean? Fucking proper. Yeah. He makes it home. He gets his shit, but he gets lost in the process. Finally makes it home super late, gets his fucking papers, goes back to school, and then they drop him off on the wrong side of the street. There's like a 16-lane road he's got to clear, and he says he froggers across it. He does like the Frogger, jumping cars and jumping through lanes. Gets to the other side, and the cops arrest his ass because they're like, you're not supposed to go. There's an underground tunnel under the street. You fucked up. Like, get over here. We're going to arrest you. He gets arrested. They fucking, gives him a couple bucks to get out of it or whatever. And he finishes class and he goes home, and in the middle of the night, he's walking home and a car pulls up, and he's like, it's crazy because he's talking about it. He goes, I'll never forget this shit. And I know we're already at 11. We're going to finish this out real quick. He fucking, this car pulls up while he's walking by. That's not going to stop him. And he's walking by and he notices that there's two guys. The guy rolls the window down and he looks at him real fucking thuggy, right? And he keeps walking, and then he notices a second dude come out, and they reach into the back of the car and they pull out, he said, like, this beautiful redhead chick, and they fucking yank her out of the car, like, from her hair. And you can see that he said it, that she was just like, she accepted the fact that it was like a lifeless situation, that she just knew she was gonna get fucked up. And in the process, they pull her out of the car and they just start beating the shit out of this chick on the side of the road. And John Berthnall was like, well, I can't have that. I'm not used to that. So he runs back and he grabs the fucking dude and he fucking shakes the shit out. What the fuck are you doing? You can't do that. And the guy simply turned around and aimed the gun at his forehead and just told him, just get away. Just go away. And for some reason at that moment, like, John Berthnall was like, okay, like, this guy ain't fucking around. Like I'm leaving. And he walked away. He just walked away. And they just continued to just beat the shit out of this chick. Like, because he knew at that moment, the way that guy talked to him and pulled out the gun, that there was just no, like, there wasn't like a second thought in the guy's hands. And it was such a remarkable story just to hear him say it. Like, I was just like, fuck, dude, what do you do in that situation? What do you do in that situation, Brian? What do you do in that situation, Brian? What do you do? That's wild as fuck to me, man. Don't fuck with me, Brian.
That story was wild.
I'm telling you, man, it fucked me up, man. It was just the way he said it that I was just like, damn, dude, like, this guy. And those are the kind of like interviews.
So he's watching the chick get beat the fuck up. He runs over there to be a hero, and then he
got a fucking he got a piece put on his forehead, and the guy was like, just get out of here, dude.
What do you mean? What I would do? What I would do is I'm not running up on a man with a fucking gun. If he's like, what do you want me to do? Like, I'm sorry, I'm not dying because you're having a domestic dispute with someone. Like, I'm not dying.
It was like a group thing. Those two dudes, and
I don't care who the fuck it was.
Like, you
have a fucking gun. What do you want me to do? What am I? First off, I find it very hard to believe that John Berthnall is fucking running up on a guy with his fists, and he's got a gun and doesn't.
I think at the time he doesn't say he saw the guy with the gun out first, but when he approached the guy and touched him and shook him and tried to get him off of the girl is when the guy pulled the gun out on him.
Gotcha.
So I think that's when it happened, because it's not really explained in that situation. But okay. I don't think he went up to him with a gun. Like, the guy's like punching the chick and he's got a gun in the air and shit. Like, I don't think that's not what's going on.
Okay. Yeah. But, no, I'm not approaching someone with the gun that's beating the shit out of anybody. I'm sorry. This guy is very agitated. He's having
there's some shit going on.
There's some shit going on, and I don't need I don't need to be a part of it. Sorry.
Yeah, but like I said, like I just there's something about those type of stories when people as men find themselves in situations like that and they have to, figure out life from there. Those type of life
Not
lessons.
really, dude. I gotta get home. That's the end of the story. I have to get home.
No,
I have a daughter to get to. I have a family to get to.
No,
I have to
I'm
get
talking about
home.
like I'm just talking about the concept of like
Being a
the
hero and
life
shit like
lesson
that.
aspect. Like when you're hearing someone explain a story to you and they're explaining to you like the life lessons that people learn in life. Like those type, I always find like such intrigue in those kind of conversation or podcasts. So yeah, that's what I was talking about, like those type of podcasting.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, man, fucking 2022 is a fucking weird year, man. I'm not gonna lie, and I think 2023 should. I want to say I hope it's a lot better, man. I hope 2023 is a lot better. I think for what it's worth. I think I want to be off of social media for a little bit longer, like kind of like get away from it for a couple days a little bit more, take breaks from it. I think that's a big necessity this coming year. I mean, everybody's out there. I think that's always something important. I found myself a lot this year being stuck on like the TikTok timing videos, like a lot of that 1 minute observation of life. And I was almost dictating like what happiness should be from those moments.
How do you plan on promoting though? You have businesses and stuff.
No. Like I'm not talking about leaving social media.
Okay.
But I'm talking about like there's times where I just need to say like, hey, you know what? Like for Monday and Tuesday, like I'm not gonna really get into social media and go through the wall, like go through that moment of like flipping. I'm not really gonna waste my time doing that.
Okay.
Promoting myself, using it as a way of a business and a tool, I will still do every day. But I think just indulging in what it is what I need to do. Like take breaks from this year. I think that's what's important. I think that's important for everybody. What is it? Vince says, so what's your favorite episode of the Average Boys podcast this past year? What's been my favorite episode? Damn, that's a good question. You want to know what probably would be like around my favorite episodes?
What's that?
Would be when when WandaVision, when what is it? Not WandaVision, when Doctor Strange 2 came out.
Mm-hmm.
Like those moments where we got to tear the fuck out of the Wanda situation movie out. Like anything when we got to shit on the Illuminati. Like I just remember us like smacking that movie so hard. Like that podcast episode was fucking hilarious to me. There's been a couple cool moments. What about you, Brian? What was like been your
the whole season? That every episode is a blessing for me, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say like there's always like there's always fun in every episode to me. For me, it's always one of those, like, and it's like right now, like we're about to cut it up. And we had no earthly idea on how we were going to do this episode. And you guys need to understand like how comfortable we've become with our audience, how we talk to each other, our friendship, your guys' friendships, like how we all have grown this year in 2022 as a podcast. I'm so happy the way the year went, and I cannot wait for 2022 with our podcast. Brian, if there's anything you would like to say for 2023, what would it be?
Nothing. Find what makes you happy and go do that shit.
And run that shit. Guys, I want to say thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Tuning in with us every Friday has been a blessing, and it's always been a blessing, and it will continue to be a blessing. To all our extraordinary fans, we love you. We thank you for coming and joining us, and we hope that you and your family have a safe New Year's. Don't go to the fucking ball drop in New York City. We don't want you wearing diapers. We want you to have a good fucking time, and we'll see you guys in 2023 for sure. Guys, thank you so much to our extraordinary listeners. Thank you guys for tuning in. We love you. We'll see you guys again next Friday here on the show.
Peace.
Laters.